We begin tonight with new information out of the Holyoke Soldiers Home. Western Mass News has learned 6 Holyoke Soldiers Home staff members have tested positive for COVID-19. Good Thursday evening, everyone. Welcome to Western Mass News at 6. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Jordan Jagalinzer. This comes as outside visits from loved ones have been stopped until August 11th. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us live outside the home with the latest. Audrey?
State officials say 6 employees were considered clinically recovered and had the COVID-19 earlier during the outbreak. Now, earlier this week, a veteran began showing symptoms of COVID-19, and that triggered full house testing of all of the veteran residents and all of the employees of the home. Now, that is when it was discovered that these 6 employees who were considered clinically recovered had once again tested positive for COVID-19, but were asymptomatic. What little of the Holyoke Soldiers Home that had opened back up to the world is snapped back shut this week after a clinically recovered veteran began showing COVID-19 symptoms once again. Outside visits were canceled, and that resident was transferred to a hospital and tested positive for COVID-19. State officials say full house testing was performed. Families were notified of canceled visits and increased infection control actions being taken. But those families received another message from the home Thursday morning. While no other vets tested positive for the virus, 6 clinically recovered staff members did. In a statement to Western Mass News, state officials say, quote, 6 asymptomatic staff who had previously tested positive but were clinically recovered again tested positive and were immediately sent home out of an abundance of caution.
It's going to be a challenge to get people to go and commit to working at that facility. So that's going to be a long-term rebuilding of that facility.
A former superintendent of the home, Paul Barabani, spoke out during a congressional hearing Wednesday about the 76 veterans who died after testing positive earlier in the spring. He fears another deadly outbreak in the home is looming over the horizon and worries there won't be enough staff to help. I
am not convinced that they are prepared to deal with a second wave. They better call the National Guard now and put them on orders, because if it happens, I don't see how Holyoke will be prepared. In the message sent to families, the current interim superintendent, Val Liptak, says the latest CDC guidance is being followed, including the isolation of asymptomatic people for 10 days after their positive test. Now, state officials say that they're hoping outdoor visits with loved ones can resume on August 11th or earlier if the circumstances call for it. And there is some good news on the veteran who began having COVID-19 symptoms and was sent to the hospital. We're told that now, as of Wednesday, his most recent COVID-19 test has come back negative. Reporting live in Holyoke, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.